Okay, let us start with the Compton effect. Last class I have just started it. It is just another effect which is explained with the quantum mechanics, quantum mechanical concepts. Here we have a monochromatic beam of X-ray. This is the electromagnetic radiation, which is incidenting on a which is incidenting on a material or a target. Here it is an electron. Okay. So it is scattered from an electron, and the wavelength of the incident beam, it contains after scattering, it contains both the incident frequency and a different frequency. There is another radiation scattered from the target which has a different frequency. So Compton effect says that the frequency of the incident beam changes after scattering. So it has incident frequency and also another frequency. So a frequency change is happening, and this frequency change is called the Compton effect, or the it is the modified. Here it says presence of modified radiation in scattered X-rays is called Compton effect. That means a different frequency beam is scattered away from the the scattered beam contains a different frequency. So this effect is Compton effect. So earlier in photoelectric effect we had incident beam, which is light beam, incidenting on a metal surface. So this radiation is getting absorbed there. This light beam is getting absorbed there, and we get only the ejected electrons from the surface. But here there is a modification of the frequency of the incident beam after scattering. So this modification, what is the change in frequency happening after the scattering? We are studying that. Okay, so let us see the diagram. There is an incident photon having an energy h nu incidenting on an electron, and it gets scattered with an angle with the incident direction theta, and it has a energy h nu dash. E dash is equal to h nu dash. The scattered photon has an energy h nu dash, and incident photon has an energy h nu. And remember, this incident photon has a momentum also, which is h nu by c. So it is how will you know that Pc is the energy there. P into C is the energy there. So from that we can find P, which is equal to h nu by C. And after scattering also the momentum changes, which is P dash is equal to h nu dash by C for the photon. And before scattering, the electron, the target is at rest, and after scattering the electron is recoiled, or it is moving with a velocity, and it is having a momentum and energy. So before scattering, the electron has only rest mass energy, and after scattering it has kinetic energy also. Okay, now let us write this. How will you find this Compton effect or Compton wavelength? For finding that, we first should do two things. The first one is take the energy conservation. That means before scattering and after scattering, the total energy of the system, that is the target and the incident photon, should be same before and after scattering. Total energy should be same. The same way, we have total momentum before scattering and after scattering. The total momentum of whole system, that is the target and the incident photon, target and the photon, should be same. So the momentum should be same before scattering and after scattering, and the energy should be same before scattering and after scattering for the total system. So let us take first, from the theory of relativity, total energy of the recoiled electron, which is, by relativistic theory, we can write it that it is root of m0 square c raised to 4 plus p square c square. What is p there? Capital P. Capital P is the momentum of the recoiled electron. Capital P is taken as momentum of the electron. So capital P square c square gives the kinetic energy term, and m0 square c raised to 4 gives the rest mass energy term. So after scattering, the recoiled electron has the rest mass energy and kinetic energy. So we have taken the square root mean square. Root mean square. So that means we have taken the square of the rest mass energy and square of the kinetic energy, then added together and taken the square root. So we will get the total energy like that. Square root of m0 square c raised to 4 plus p square c square. So m0 square c raised to 4 is the square of the rest mass energy and p square c square is the square of the kinetic energy. Now let us have, now we have the energy of the recoiled electron after scattering, and let us now consider the energy of the incident photon. So before scattering, what is the total energy of the full system? Incident photons energy and the resting electrons energy. So electron is at rest, so it has only rest mass energy. So that before scattering, now from energy conservation we can write that the total energy of the photon and the electron is h nu plus m0 c square. In the left hand side you can see in that equation, h nu is the incident photon's energy, h nu, and m0 c square is the rest mass energy of the electron. So before scattering, the electron is at rest. We need to consider only the rest mass energy. Okay, h nu plus m0 c square is the energy of the whole system before scattering. And after scattering, the photon's energy is, we know that h nu dash, and the electron recoiling electrons energy is, recoiling electrons energy is root of m0 square c raised to 4 plus p square c square. Okay. Now we have the energy conservation equation. Now let us just rearrange it. We have taken the h nu dash left hand side, and the square root term we have taken the square of it. That means m0 square c raised to 4 plus p square c square will be equal to h nu minus h nu dash plus m0 c square whole square. Okay. So we have taken the h nu dash to the left and we have written all the left hand side to the right hand side. Now let us see, again rearranging, taking the square in the bracket here. You have taken the first term as h nu minus h nu dash. So the first term square plus 2 m0 c square h nu minus h nu dash plus m0 square c raised to 4, a plus b whole square form. Okay. Now we have taken m0 square c raised to 4 is cancelled there from the left hand side and right hand side, and the remaining part will be p square c squared in the left hand side, which is equal to h nu minus h nu dash whole square plus 2 m0 c square into h nu minus h nu dash. Okay. Now we have the first equation from energy conservation. Let us take now the momentum conservation. That is, before scattering, the momentum of the total system will be equal to the momentum of the total system after scattering. So let us see. That equation will be, before scattering only the photon has momentum, electron is at rest. So photon's momentum is p, which is h nu by c. Okay. And photon's momentum after scattering is p dash. What is that? H nu dash by c. And capital P is the momentum of the electron. Okay. Now let us take the square. So let us take capital P on the left hand side, and P dash we move it to left hand side. That means P minus P dash will be equal to P. So capital P. Capital P square will be P minus P dash whole square. Okay. Now P and P dash we substitute and we expand it. We will get like that. P square is equal to h nu by c whole square plus h nu dash by c whole square minus 2h square nu dash by c square into cos theta. Okay. Because P dot P dash is P dash cos theta. Remember that. P and P dash has a direction. P and P dash are vector and they are having an angle theta. both these vectors have it makes an angle theta. Okay, now we have p square c square. This c square we are taking to left. From the right hand side, the denominator c square we are from all the term we are taking it to left hand side. So p square c square is equal to h nu square plus h nu dash square plus 2 h nu h. Now we have added here 2 h nu dash and subtracted 2 h nu dash. We just added and subtracted 2 h nu dash there, and the remaining part 2h square nu dash cos theta is there. Okay, now h nu minus, we can make h nu square h nu dash square minus 2 h nu dash, we can make it as h nu minus h nu dash whole square, and the remaining part will be 2 h nu minus 2 h nu cos theta, and that is written as 2 h nu dash into 1 minus cos theta. So we have written the second equation. So in both 1 and 2 equation we have left hand side same. So we can equate the right hand side. So comparing these two equations 1 and 2 and equating the right hand side part, we will get h nu dash into 1 minus cos theta is equal to m0 c square nu minus nu dash. The two term in 2 in the both terms, right hand side term will be cancelling, and h nu minus h nu dash whole square also will be getting cancelled by equating the right hand side of equation 1 and 2. So we will remain with this equation. Now we substitute for nu as c by lambda and nu dash as c by lambda dash. We know that this velocity by wavelength gives the frequency. Okay, now substitute that, you will get hc square by lambda dash 1 into 1 minus cos theta is equal to m0 c square into c by lambda minus c by lambda dash, and that means lambda dash minus this you can take the common denominator there and move to the left hand side, the lambda dash. So lambda minus lambda dash lambda dash minus lambda will be equal to h by c square will get cancelled there, only m0c will be remaining, and h by m0c into 1 minus cos theta will be the value. This is the famous formula of Compton effect, and this change in wavelength lambda dash minus lambda is delta lambda, and it is called the Compton shift. So that means the incident photon has a change happening after the scattering. It has a wavelength change, and this wavelength change after scattering is called the Compton shift, and it is not depending on the incident wavelength or on the scattering material. It only depends on the scattering angle, the angle theta. So that is the angle between the incident photons direction and the scattered photons direction. So theta is the only depending term. So h by m0 c is only the constant, which is Compton. It is called Compton wavelength of the electron, and its value is 0.0243. Okay, today you will get this class. Next day I will teach you about the experimental verification.